Okay, I normally film on Wednesdays. It's only Tuesday night, but I got this little potential sifting tray that I happen to just have in a cabinet, and I'm really excited to try it. I'm hoping that this is going to work to sift out castings from this tray, which is the moment is tray 2, but was the original tray started on September 13th. And it's looking really good, but I need to get the worms out of it. And rather than trying to deal with horizontal and vertical and migrations, I just want to see what I can get out of it so that I can start a new tray. I don't know if you can see in the dark, but this tray is literally just castings, and it really has been. There have been a few times I've grabbed 10 or 12 handfuls from the tray below, which is the feeding tray, and put it up here, but other than just some cardboard bedding, it's just castings. It's probably a little wetter than the last time I remember looking at it. I have Kaylee and Dobby, 2 out of 4 helpers. Okay, see what I can shake out, and then I'm probably going to take about half of the worms out of here and add it to the brand new standalone bin that I made. And then I'm also going to start a new tray here, and then that way I figure they just have room to spread out. I keep toying with the idea of getting rid of the Worm Factory 360 completely, but I've had it inside a couple weeks now, and honestly it's going okay, so I think we'll just kind of keep plugging along. We're not going to go out of town for Christmas, so I feel pretty good about just kind of letting it play out. So it's not quite 90 days old at this point. Okay, here is what I have learned tonight. When you follow a bunch of YouTube channels and they tell you what to order, just order that. So it is taking me an hour to finally get to the bottom of this tray, and I just happen to have on hand this little sifting tray, which honestly is not tall enough, and it really needs diamond holes, and these are, they're not diamonds. I don't know what they are. They're not big enough. They're multi-size. The other issue is really that these worm castings are too wet. So I've ended up with this kind of heaping container of stuff that'll have to go back into another bin to be processed, and then this, which is probably half full. I didn't add this to anything. This was the last one that I was trying to sift, but it's not going to fit in here without falling out. So anyway, I'm going to end up starting a new tray over here. Just kind of spread these guys out, and it's not all for naught. I mean, I definitely learned. This was not as processed as I thought, and yeah, this was a lot more work than it should have been. This shouldn't take an hour. I watched a great video from the Iowa Worm Company, I think that's what it's called. He did it in like 7 minutes, a whole mortar tray. So obviously I have some things to learn, but it was still fun. Just wanted to show, it's kind of amazing like how long these guys can stretch out to. I have some that are shorter and rounder, and then I have these really long European night crawlers. And this guy is wondering what in the world happened. Okay, I ended up putting most of the castings. This is all that's left. I put most of the unfinished castings back in the top tray. I figure this way the worms can come up here and still kind of work through it. I was gonna mix them, and then I thought, well, that's kind of silly because the point is to try to get to a point where you have a tray of finished castings. So I'm gonna leave this like it is. I might even switch them out this weekend, but for right now, I just looked in the bottom tray. There's plenty of food down there. So, and I think doing this has actually forced quite a bit of worms down to the lower levels. So maybe there'll be some more food consumption there this week. And then I'm going to add the rest of what's left to this bin. And I want to put some pumpkin in it. This weekend I've got a pretty big pumpkin to put in here. Kind of been letting it rot on my front porch. So I thought I would go ahead and add everything that's left. I'll look in a minute, make sure there's not any stragglers. I'll just let these guys move over to this bin, because this is the direction I'm going eventually. I'm trying to grow the population in this bin. So anyway, that's the plan. Put it all back together, let it sit till this weekend, and then it's probably time to finally add some pumpkin.